Does this shit look extremely tacky? Yes, absolutely, 100%. I'm on that accord. She left. All right, done here. All right, chat. So mind the tacky looking ass prompt on the fucking screen. Mind the tacky looking ass prompt up there. Don't worry about that. I want to see how it looks on stream though, like in real time. Let me see. Random sidebar, y'all. I was watching the Fast and Furious movie, Fast X. It don't look that bad. It don't look bad. I feel like I should just like it should be zoomed in a little more because not everybody can see it. Like they can see it, but they can't really see it, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, if I was to like, I don't know. Let me see. Probably like do this. This could probably make it better to an extent. Let me see. I'm trying everything around this bitch. I don't know. Or should I like make it a side? Should I do this and then like make it a whole big ass thing on my screen? Irrelevant speed is just speed beyond like the concept of speed, just beyond like speed as a concept. And how is it faster than immeasurable? It's just like beyond speed conceptually, like beyond time conceptually, if that makes sense. So whereas immeasurable is beyond linear time, irrelevant is beyond time as a concept, like as an abstraction. Can you give me an example? It's kind of hard to explain, like example wise, because there aren't too many characters that are really irrelevant speed. But like, I would say, okay, let's say the Flash, for example, right? He gets so fast, like so fast to a point where like even the idea or like the concept of speed, like that abstraction can't measure or register his speed. Like if he's so fast to where speed as a concept itself cannot interpret or measure his speed, he's irrelevant, right? So like I can't really give like an all off the top example, like because it wouldn't explain it. Like I feel like the best way to convey it is just to give like that, like just to say what I just said. I don't know how else to like how else to give it. My bad if the explanation was terrible, but I just don't know like another way to explain it. I'm starting to slowly realize this isn't TikTok chat. Oh yeah, by the way, I was supposed to what's the name? Put the link to the who you got, Superman or Goku. It depends on the Superman we're taking. If we're taking like current base Superman right now, would get his shit rocked by Goku bad. Apparently, current Superman is like a composite suit. That's not true. Yeah, that's not true. So it's a dumbass like coping session that DC fans came up with to like try to assert that every version of Superman is the base version, and that's not the case. Yeah, just spreading lies like all around. Like that's what DC fans have been doing this for literally decades. Like they've been like overhyping their characters for decades. I've seen people argue that DC has infinite dimensions. Like fuck no. DC at the highest is a sixth dimensional construct. Like that cosmology at the very max, You could say 7 to 8D. I couldn't even stretch it to say 7. But like that, he's not outer. How do you get Goku from a 7D to outer? So 7D just stems from the fact that Otherworld is at base 5D. Like just the concept of Otherworld at the very base is above like a fourth dimensional construct dimensionally, right? Then combine the fact that there are 3 layers that dimensionally transcend each other, right? There are 3-dimensional layers that transcend each other, which is stated by Goku in Fusion Reborn. It's stated by like I think a couple of the Kais make this statement, but there are like dimensions that transcend each other. The Enma realm, the Kaio realm, and then like I think there's like a top realm at the very highest, but like those are the 3 dimensions that are essentially like layered on top of each other and they transcend each other. That would at the highest, if you're talking about dimensional scaling, that would argue 7D, right? So Goku would be complex multi off of what he does with Beerus, right? In the fight in Battle of Gods, so he'd be 7D, right? But then you could also say there's also statements of like Otherworld having or like being superior to the concept of space and time. So you could take the route of dimensionality and say it's 7D in nature, or you can say it's an outer construct in nature because it's stated to transcend the concepts of space and time at times. Like there's certain statements that make that distinction. But yeah, outer versal is beyond the concept of dimension. It's just beyond the concepts of space and time, pretty much. Yeah. Like if you're beyond dimensionality as a whole, that doesn't prove much because that's bound on the it's pretty much bound by the context of what's in the series. Like for example, like if my character, like if Naruto's above dimension, like is above all dimensions in his verse, he would quite literally be like, what's the name? I'm trying to think about it. If like he would if Naruto would be above all the dimensions in his universe or all dimensionality, like he would just be above the dimensions in his verse. So like the confirmed dimensions that we get are like the ones that like, you know, Shibai lives in and like shit like that. If you're just beyond like the concept of time and space, you'd be 4D or what's the name? Outer Versal. Gotcha. What do you think about the take that Vegito Buu Saga over Super Saiyan God Goku Battle of Gods? Disagree. I disagree with it, but what do you think? Goku just like verbatim states that like Vegito would get his shit rocked. Like if Goku and Vegeta were to fuse in Battle of Gods, which is a stronger version, that because keep in mind, in the movie, Battle of Gods takes place 3 years after Majin Buu's defeat. In the anime, it's like 6 to 7 months. So in that time, there's still going to be like strength increases, or you can say they're the same. The point would remain the same. Goku makes this statement in both the movie and the show that if they were to fuse into Vegito, Beerus would still have his way. He would basically treat Vegito the same way that he treated Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? The distinction comes in where they mentioned that Super Saiyan God now has the power to contend with Beerus, right? So just off of Goku being able to contend with that holding back Beerus in Battle of Gods, he's proven himself above Vegito because Vegito would get dog fucked like bad. Appreciate the fusion. But yeah, Super Saiyan God Goku is like violating Vegito. Bad. Also, that's another funny thing I wanted to mention about Vegito. For years, I've been seeing like people quote the perfect files, the GT perfect files, and they say, what's the name? They try to use this as like a means to say that like GT Goku or like Super Saiyan 4 isn't as strong as it seems. Because what's the name? What do they say? Oh yeah. The perfect file says something about like Vegito being like compared to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But like there's multiple issues with that. Like the only way you should be able to give like okay, the only way you should be able to make the distinction that like Vegito is above Super Saiyan 4 Goku is like if you genuinely can't fucking read. Like if you genuinely can't fucking read, if you have like serious reading comprehension issues, right? And even then, the multiplier, I still think the multiplier for Super Saiyan 4 is just like massively greater than Fusion, which is gonna get described to us in a second. But like, I'll explain it in a second. My point is essentially that if we're talking about like Potara being the same or like having the same multiplier as Super Saiyan 4, why the fuck didn't Gohan and Goten fuse? Like, why didn't they become I can't even like Han 10? Why did they become them? Gohan 10. Why didn't they become them? Like why didn't people like why is the only person to fuse with Potara Majub? Like Majub is the only one, and his amp is still infinitesimal compared to Super Saiyan 4. Like, I need everybody to understand that if y'all are like, if you're trying to like really make this statement, I'm not saying y'all as in my chat, I'm saying y'all as in Dragon Ball fans, period. If y'all are genuinely trying to make the argument that Vegito is stronger or that like Potara carries a better nerf than Super Saiyan 4 or an equal one to Super Saiyan 4, I want you to pay attention to context clues, okay? Goku and Oob, right, are like damn near equals at the beginning of GT. Keep this in mind, okay? The second thing you need to pay attention to, right, is the fact that Oob also does the Potara fusion with Buu. He fuses with Buu, okay? That Potara fusion does jack shit compared to the Super Saiyan 4 multiplier that Goku got, right? Majub only really did like a punch and some kicks to Super Baby 2. And then Super Baby 2 started ragdolling him badly. Fast forward to Super Saiyan 4, where we see Baby literally losing his mind, losing his mental state, not being able to keep himself in the battle because he's getting thrashed upon that bad. Like, we literally see Goku sitting there just tanking straight barrages from Baby, and then laughing him off, talking about, yeah, bro, it feels like I'm getting tickled. And Baby is tripping. Baby is tripping off that. Like, so what I'm saying is, if we're trying to argue that, why didn't they do Potara more? And B, like, why is Super Saiyan 4 just shown to be a bigger threat to Baby than Potara ever was? Like, it just makes no sense. Facts. If I'm being honest, I agree. I think Super Saiyan 4's multiplier is like vastly above MUI. If I'm being honest, I can't prove it. I just feel like it. Like, I can't prove it necessarily, but I kind of just feel it. It definitely sounds like GT Dick Suck, but it's not. I mean, but yeah, these takes are a little tame. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I probably should have like pushed them out more, but just for those who still need like the refresher on what I'm actually saying, I made the image. Yeah, I didn't make the image, like the picture that's behind the text. I just made the takes. The takes are mine. I didn't make the image. Nah. I asked my homie at work what he thinks of GT, and he agreed with me that it's overrated. If I'm being honest, it is. Or overrated or overhated. Overhated. Yeah. If it's yeah, I think it's definitely overhated. I feel like people hold up this stigma of like it doesn't compare to Z. But if I'm being honest, there really isn't that much of a difference between GT and Z. Like, if y'all hear me out and let me like explain, a lot of the magic that came from Dragon Ball Z was low key like replicated. Like, it was still maintained in Z or like in GT. Like, if you mean to tell me that you didn't get like an iota of nostalgia from like Baby taking over the entire planet, then the universe, and like then literally winning, like, if y'all don't understand, Baby literally became the winner. He won. Like, Baby won. If y'all really think about it, he won. Like, bro, like that whole feel of like everything's about to go wrong and then Goku's right there to save the day. That's classic G. Like, or that classic G. That's classic Goku. That's classic Z, bro. Like, honestly, like that feel of like of just sheer like nostalgia You get that from GT. Like, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people like their sheer like comeuppance and like their feelings for Z stem from nostalgia, and you get that same feel for GT. If I'm being honest, like I don't know if about y'all, but I remember watching GT on Nicktoons like all the time on Saturdays, literally at the ass crack of dawn, like at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning. Like I remember that. Like I remember the Grand Tour theme. Like I remember that. So like stuff like that would click. Oh no, I never cut. I muted myself on purpose. I went to go do something. I went to go do something real quick. My bad, chat. I probably should have said something. Um, GT Goku has the best design for Goku, in my opinion. Yeah, especially with like that. It's a headcanon, but like I heard this theory that like Goku wears the blue key because it like it's sign or the blue gi because it signifies he's a master. Like he's mastered everything, like every technique and every martial art he's ever like come across. So like he just kind of ascended past that orange gi, like the Turtle Hermit gi. He's not a student anymore. Or I think that was the theory, or like the him not wearing a patch anymore. I think it was those were like the two theories. Besides saying if you could choose any race, if you chose any Dragon Ball Z / Super race, which one would you choose? Um, that's crazy because Saiyan would have been my first choice. Like I would have been a Saiyan. But and even then, being a Saiyan don't guarantee you finna be like Goku or Gohan or nothing like that. You probably gonna be like a Tarble 9 times out of 10. But I don't know. Probably a Namekian or something. I don't know. I think like, low key Piccolo, a black dude, 100%. That is a black dude with a turban on. Swear to. It's a black green man with a turban on and some antennas. Like, bro. Somebody has said something up here. I missed it. In my opinion, God Key is a better progression of power than Super Saiyan 4. I completely disagree, but you know, everybody has their own opinions. I feel like God Key was just like an excuse to sell toys, if I'm being honest. Like it just there's nothing there to me now that like signifies this is like the true root of the Saiyans. Like all we get is that the Super Saiyan God was like, I think his name is Yamoshi or something like that, and he fought like 6 evil Saiyans and he's a righteous Saiyan and da 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 da. Like that's it. That's all you get about like where it comes from and like the Super Saiyan God form. Like I feel like God Key in general's progression didn't really like it wasn't highlighted. Like sure, we got some examples of Goku using it in like in ingenious ways, but like to me, I kind of feel like it was never really like gone over how like he uses his God Key in different manners. Like for example, with the God Bond, right? We never saw him like ever train for that. Like we didn't see the process in which he attained this ability. We didn't see like how he learned how to control God Key and like imbue it in someone else's body and then use it as a paralytic. Like We never got that. Nobody else in the series until that point had done like anything close to that. And like to me, that just signified like oh yeah, we're just randomly throwing things in there because like we want new developments. Like that's what it looked like to me. Again, that's just my opinion. Again, everyone's entitled to their own, right? But I just kind of felt like Super was all go and no show. Like they also shown him as a golden great ape in the Namek saga. Yeah, like is Yamoshi the golden great ape? I think he might be. But like even like the golden Ozaru, that had foreshadowing, like that had build up to it. God Bond looks like a version of telekinesis. I mean, he's not really controlling Broly's body though. It's just more like he's restricting the movement of it with his ki. Which he may be able to control. What up, Abyss? He may be able to control that, but all in all, I don't really think like the point which is like I don't think they really go in depth for it. Like I understand being a Freezer race member because like you're potentially like things like that. But me personally, bro, like he's immobilizing Broly. I mean, that doesn't really prove telekinesis. Like if I okay, for example, right? If I start like essentially, let's say I walk up on you and I put 5 shackles on you, like bound you with shackles, 5 point, one on your neck, one like two on your arms, two on your legs, right? Let's say I shackled you and I hold you there and I'm restricting the movement of your body. That's completely different than like someone else literally like controlling you, taking your body, making you put your arms up in the air and like making you walk. That's different than like somebody physically stopping you and like restricting you. I think that's completely different. I don't think that's telekinesis. Like telekinesis revolves around the ability to like essentially put something into motion, into mobility, give it kinetic energy, like with your mind. Like Frieza's also stated to be a mutant, by the way. Like, so he's like a mutation. He's not supposed to be as powerful as he is, but because of his mutated state, he is. Whoever started the whole Cabo over Super Saiyan 4 or Gogeta 4 thing. Is that GT or Gogeta 4? Yeah. Uh thing has brain damage. I'm gonna be honest, yes. But like I don't really blame them. But like I don't really blame them for thinking that because Super's anime is written so poorly to the point where it's like they make it clear that like they don't care about how bad they're writing the series. Like, let me tell you what I mean. So, okay, I've already addressed the whole thing about them butchering Goku's character from like Dragon Ball Z. I've already ruined that or like talked about that. But my whole issue about the whole thing regarding like Cabo over Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is that there's a giant variable missing. Is Vegeta using God Ki in his fight with Kaba? I think all signs are pointing to no. The reason why is because Vegeta isn't truly fighting to beat Kaba there. Like I don't think he's fighting to beat Kaba. I don't think he's fighting to show his full power to Kaba. I think it's shown to us and made clear that the reason why he's fighting Kaba is as a means to train Kaba, make him stronger, essentially like see where his level is and then grow. Again, the whole purpose of their fight is about the growth of the Saiyans. It's not about divine energy. It's about Saiyan DNA and their growth, right? Now, of course, like Vegeta makes the distinction about like Blue and saying like, yeah, one day you'll get as strong as this, but like the entire time Vegeta is talking about like this like stuff intrinsic to the Saiyans, like if that makes sense. And really, if I'm being honest, Blue is intrinsic to the Saiyans. Like Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue are intrinsic to the Saiyans. Like those are Saiyan forms. So it would make sense. But just the concept of God Ki in general isn't being like spoken of and like alluded to. Let's go in order. Um, if Goku and Vegeta used Potara during the Shadow Dragons and Vegeta had, would Vegito have been stronger than Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta? I think they would be equal. I think they'd be equal. The only reason why I think Gogeta would lose to Vegito in Z is because of like the time limit and just like the fact that Vegito is comprised of stronger Gokus and Vegetas. Like if you remember anime continuity wise, like because that's where Gogeta Z stems from. Like Z Gogeta stems from like the movie anime continuity. In that continuity, Goku grows stronger after like coming back from the dead and then like unfusing and things like that. Vegeta the same way. So like Gogeta being made out of a dead Goku and Vegeta, and then like they get stronger, so then they make Vegeta. Like it just kind of proves that like Vegeta would be stronger. If you compare them in like when they show up. But if you're just comparing like let's say like Goku and Vegeta are like at the same strength, and then like they what's the name? They combine in the Gogeta or they combine in the Vegeta, they would be equals, if that makes sense. I think they'd be equals. God Key can't be sensed, and that's really it. I wish God Key showed more abilities like earth bending, fire manipulation, water manipulation, plant manipulation, reality manipulation, time manipulation, and etc. Um temporal do-over is an example of God Key having an ability to do that. Reality warping, I mean, temporal do-over is kind of a sense of reality warping, but it really isn't. But like, yeah, like temporal do-over is just like done with God Key. So like, um, I don't blame a lot of people who say Kaba wins mainly because they don't power skill and just says it because it looks like, or it looks good at a very basic level, very similar to people who say Kid Buu over or Buhan over Kid Buu. Agreed. Agreed. Fusion is also right. Gogeta and Kaba debate is so dumb that it genuinely pisses me off just from thinking about it. Facts. Honestly, I think Vegito and Gogeta Wars are dumb since both fusions are goaded. I'm gonna be honest, that's facts. Um, I saw a video that said Goku's character didn't change in Super. Since that Super is a more peaceful time compared to Z, so that's why he acts like he does in Super. The YouTuber also said Goku also has a superiority complex. Is his name Six? If his name is Six and his name is if his name is Six and the video is titled like "This isn't my Goku" or something like that, that could be the video because, or maybe I'm just like completely wrong and off basis. Link the video to me if you can, because Goku having a superiority complex is true. He fights to be the strongest, but he also recognizes when people are stronger than him. Hey, I can't really agree that it wasn't Six. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, then it probably wasn't him. But as for like Goku having a superiority complex, that's not exactly true. Because people with superiority complexes is always they always view themselves superior to everyone and everything else. Goku knows his limits and he knows who's stronger than him. The only thing about Goku is he doesn't care. He wants to ascend past that rank and get stronger. So he for sure doesn't have a superiority complex. He has a problem with wanting to be superior, though. That's fine. But yeah, I think Goku most certainly definitely does change in Super's anime. Like from like Z to Super's anime, there's definitely a giant comparative difference. Like, show me one time in Dragon Ball Z where Goku ever like had the inability to hold his pee like a 5-year-old. Like when he's actively wincing in pain like a 5-year-old, talking about I can't hold it, I can't hold it. Like, bro, show me that, please. I've never seen that in Z, and I've seen the fillers of Dragon Ball Z. Like, remember watching a video on power levels, and bro said a legendary Super Saiyan over Super Saiyan 4. What? Only in Daima. And even then, you know what? I can excuse Daima because Daima's low key a new age and a new day. So like they're kind of basing like the Goku character off of Super's anime. But here's the funny thing: even Daima Goku's better than Super Goku. Like bro. And here's the funny thing: I read the Dragon Ball Super manga, right? Toriyama and Toyotaro, they understand Goku so much better. Like, of course, it's Toriyama's character, but like, bro, like seeing Goku actually use his brain in fights was so good to see, bro. Like, if y'all don't remember, there's an event change where Goku fights Botamo in the anime, and he has to have Vegeta tell him to use his head and and to like knock him over and like get him out the ring that way. When it comes to like the manga, it was all Goku's own idea. He came up with it on his own. Uh, the guy the guy based his reason on whenever Goku has an edge on his opponents, that's when he makes mistakes. For example, Goku versus Frieza during Resurrection F. Um, wait, up as to why like Goku did change or didn't change, or like his reasoning for like what was this his reasoning for, that he had a superiority complex to like, oh, if that's the reasoning, he has a superiority complex, that's a bad reason. I'm gonna be honest, it's a terrible reason. I understand it. I wouldn't even like see my biggest pet peeve is people who think like GT is worse than Super. Like they say like, oh yeah, I hate GT, but I love Dragon Ball Super. What? Like, bro, what? Like, minus sucks. Z Bardock over Super Bardock. I'm gonna be honest, facts. Might cut that time, chat. The mic cut that time. For sure cut that time. Um, I don't even know how to like Super's flaws are just like insane. We already talked about the oversaturation it's like of transformations. Um, you got any more images to show us? No. That's actually I could look up some gauntlets and see like if there's some good Goku gauntlets on here. See if I can find those. I genuinely agree. And the funny part is like Toriyama like was so impacted by like the way Koyama had did like the father of Goku special that he considered that canon. Like he thought that was a canon piece of the story. Like he was like, "Oh wow, so that's how that really happened." Like he thought that was a canon piece of the story. Let me show another pic real quick. You ain't gonna tie me down, tie me down. Like, I feel like minus was just pointless. There was no reason for it. It low key did not serve a purpose. All right, this work chat. Let me see. Put it up on the screen. Put it up on the screen. There you go. All right. CC Goku runs the gauntlet. If I'm being honest, like base Goku could low-key clear this if I'm being like wholeheartedly honest. When we get a new video, okay, let me address that because I did say I was gonna upload Janemba versus Super Buu. I did say that. And here's the crazy part. I'm not lying about that. I have the full script typed up in my notes app, right? And I have the thumbnails done. I have the first 5 minutes of the video recorded. Here's the thing. I don't want to post that video, right? For petty reasons, but like this reason might be like the most simple. I personally feel like genuinely that topic is like so bad. Like I think that topic is terrible. Like but I feel like I don't know, that topic was just bad. Like okay, Fusion Reborn takes place after Fat Buu versus Goku during the rendezvous, like that maybe Buhan versus Janemba would be more interesting. I wouldn't even say that because if I'm being honest, like I think Janemba gets slammed. If we're talking like that, Janemba might get slammed then. Like, okay, I say this because um a weaker fusion was said to have the strongest battle power, right? This is in the same continuity as Janemba, right? So a weaker fusion of Goku and Gohan was already said to have enough battle power to be stronger than what's the name? Than Bootanks, who's called the strongest. Like Bootanks is outright called the strongest of all, right? Now there is some discrepancies of the past because he doesn't remember Kid Buu and he hasn't witnessed Janemba, but at the same time though, like this statement is also contextualized by the narrator. So I'm saying that Janemba is below like Bootanks. Like you could literally go from there. Like the only Boos that like that Janemba really beats is like Fat Buu and Super Buu. Like that's it. And Buikalo. But that's really it. That is a good thing to know. So that's in my script. That's in the script. So the script said that like because when I went back and rewatched Fusion Reborn like a couple days ago, I went back and I watched Fusion Reborn, and in Fusion Reborn, I kind of noticed some things. Um, Goku wasn't really getting like slammed. Like he was losing. Don't get me wrong, he was losing, but he wasn't really like like kind of like Seth's video. Yeah, I seen it. But like Janemba, okay. So Janemba, when he first shows up and does the transformation, like he's getting like stunned, he's getting hit by Goku, like Goku's able to react to him, like Goku was putting up a fight. He could not do that with Buhan, right? Um, Now Janemba only really gets the up on Goku when he uses his dimensional like transport thing, like where he like uh turns into a bunch of blocks and then randomly pops back up and like rematerializes. Like, excuse that voice crack. But for like for that fight, Goku was like putting some hands on him. Now, I don't think that's indicative of Janemba's true power because A, that's not like Janemba goes full power when he meets Gogeta. But secondly, Janemba grows like with every passing minute. That's a statement. Like they state this, not in the movie, but like in the Daizenshuu or like I think like in the guide for the movie. Like it said that like Janemba grows with every passing minute. So like as time passes in Dragon Ball, he's getting stronger. So like what would happen with like like when Janemba first showed up and transformed probably wouldn't happen by the end. Uh I hate debating against SCP power scalers. To this day, I still don't even understand like the full gist of SCP. Like I know SCP stands for like secure, contain, protect. It's like it's a creepy pasta thing, like where people like where these scientists like are like coming across these monsters and like cataloging them in like in the SCP Foundation and like stuff like that. But like, bro, these things stem from like regular people with superpowers to literally like Norwal gods, like literal like uh kaiju celestial like Cthulhu mythos monsters, like bro, like it's just so much stuff. Like, so I'm like, when does it stop being a creepy pasta? Like, when does it start becoming like uh Godzilla versus Kong on crack? Like, I'm confused because like I don't know. Maybe tonight I'll probably just sit in the dark and watch some SCP videos. Because I heard like there's like some videos to go along with the creepy pasta, and like there's a whole like playlist of them and like different creatures and different catalogs and stuff like that. So who knows? I maybe watch them alone tonight. Uh, you know who I really want to make a video on? Like I really want to make a video on Hot Shock. I really want to make a video on Hot Shock. Like, yo, Hot Shock is so cool. He's so cool. I like, bro. I wanna know everything about him. To this day, I still haven't seen the Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans OVA. Like, I haven't seen the old one that came out in the 90s. I haven't seen the one that came out alongside Raging Blast 2. I haven't seen any of them. Like, I've just seen like clips and like things like that. And like, bro, he looked like a freaking a dog. Just the OVA from the 90s looks like terribly animated, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it looks terrible. Like it looks terribly animated. Like, let me pull up a clip on my phone. Let me see. I do know that that Dr. Lightshy is a tuffle. So that's something to pick up on. But Dr. Lightshy is a tuffle, and he is who unlocked or like awoke Hot Shock or something like that. Is this old? This is the Raging Blast. This is the Raging Blast one. That's not the one I want. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. It looks like a normal Z movie. Oh yeah, nah, yeah. Yo, this dude looks. Hey, this dude sounds scary. I'm watching the Japanese, by the way. I'm not watching the dub. Why does the soundtrack sound like this, yo? And they got King Kai cussing on here. Yo, this is tough. Wait, so where did like where does it take place? And what's it called? Because I know this has like another name. It's like Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans, right? Yup, found it. Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans. No, it's actually just called Plan to Eradicate the Saiyans, not Super Saiyans. Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans is for the remake. The original is a full hour, which is kind of consistent. But Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans is like a completely remade, like a remade version of it, of the original 1993 version. So I'm going to stick with the yeah. I might just stick with the original Z version. In the 10-day wait for the Cell games, I think. And it's after the Broly, yeah. It's after the Broly movie. Slug, Cooler, whoa. Slug, Cooler, and Frieza show up, I think. It's Slug, Cooler, Turles, and Frieza, which is like the most random pairing I've ever. It's like everybody there is movie villains except Frieza. Like what? An educated prodigy brings a smile to my face. But yeah, I thought more people were gonna disagree with the first prompt. I'm not gonna lie. The only reason why I came on here was for those takes. But as of now, I think I'm low key burning my time out. So, oh, this was the last thing I did want to mention because someone talked me into this, and if this causes the to, but um, I'm not gonna lie. I found out the other day that I have 10,000 watch hours. Didn't know it, didn't recognize it, but apparently I do. So I'm gonna attempt to shoot for that monetization, and also I'm gonna be doing Cash App battles now. Just as something to pass the time. I want to have videos that kind of like are filler, but I don't want to like waste my time talking about things that I either like just don't serve or just don't really connect with me. So I'm going to keep it to Dragon Ball, Naruto. You could talk about MCU, the DCU, You could talk about Teen Wolf if you want to. Ask me anything related to those couple of topics. I might make a formal video addressing this. But if you ever want like a Cash App battle, make it specifically about something that you know I can like make a video on. If I can't make a video on it, I will send your money back immediately. Like if I don't know the topic, it's getting sent right back to you. So for example, like if you send me like 5 minute or like a 10-minute video where I go over like Yuha versus like Eggman, like I'm not doing that. Like I'm not doing that. I'm sending that right back to you. And the reason for that is primarily because of the fact of how, again, I don't know those verses. So like it would take a research, and those videos would need to be like cranked out at fast speeds. So like because again, if you're gonna pay for something, of course you're gonna want to get it at the fastest you can. So I couldn't be lazy with that. But once again, if you want to see a specific short, I guess I might have to make a full video talking about this because there might need to be systems put in play. I just don't know like specifically what I would need to do. Like there's a lot I would need to get going. But since I'm bringing up potential updates for the channel, I can keep going on future videos that I would love to talk about. So I got an Ultimate Gohan video coming. I have a video talking about God Key. I have a video talking about what's another one? I'm trying to think of the thumbnails I've been making. I have another character analysis coming. That's another one. I've been wanting to talk about some characters for a minute. I have a Z Broly character analysis coming. I have another part of my Goku scale coming. So there's like, again, if you remember back in the day, I did a Dragon Ball scale. I did like part 1. I never finished it. And I was gonna like do part 2 about the Dragon Ball Z anime and stuff like that, and I never finished it. I never got to it. That's coming. Goku versus Superman. That's coming. It's a lot of stuff that's gonna be on the horizon. Pay attention. So there's that. There's the Cash App battles, the monetization. So yeah, I think for like the Cash App battles, if you want like a shorts where I go over the topic, it'll be $1. If you want like a full length video, like it'll be at the minimum, it'd be 5 minutes. It'd be $5. So like a full length video would be like at the minimum 5 minutes, so it'd be $5. Now, if you wanted me to like extend it to 30, I'm going to have to like price it it may vary, but Comic Soups or DCEU Comic Slams, bad. Comic Slams, badly. Badly. DCEU Soups is so trash, bro. Oh my God. Yo, he is so trash. Bro. But yeah, comics for sure. But also for those who are still wanting me to make Teen Wolf content or stuff like that, I'm making an entirely new channel dedicated to that content. So I still don't know what the name of that content will be or what the name of that channel will be. I don't know. But facts. Like he might get dropped off by like Tony in Avengers 1, if I'm being honest. Teen Wolf is a TV show that came out a couple years ago in like 20. Actually, no, couple years ago is a lie. Came out 13 years ago. It came out 13 years ago on MTV, and it to me is still one of the greatest supernatural shows of all time. Teen Wolf, I don't know you dabbled in it. Go back. I think I have some of those videos still on my channel. They're bad, but they're still on the channel. I definitely dabble in the supernatural world. I'm in that all the time. I'm literally currently rewatching Supernatural for the 3rd time. I love that show. If someone pays you to get into something to scale it, would you do it? Yes, absolutely. But like the thing is, if they paid me to get into the scaling, like that would take time. So like I would need a deadline before like I would need to actually speak on that topic. So like, for example, if y'all wanted me to learn if you wanted me to learn how to scale Hajun, or wanted me to learn how to scale Featherine, or like Akudo Sai or things like that, I would need a deadline to like learn the topic and then make the video. you know, and if I can't achieve it, then it'll just get sent back, you know. But I feel like most of these would be pretty simple to achieve. Equal stats, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta versus Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, who wins? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Okay. Oof. That's hard to guess because both these characters love to hold back. Both these characters love to play around. That's good. And these two characters aren't really hacks characters for real. Like, okay, Gogeta has Soul Punisher, which I mean that'll do something, I guess, to the Vegeta half of Vegito, I guess. What if someone paid me $100 and said I had a year to produce a video? Do it. Low key, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, I'd do it. I would do it. Like, if you wanted me to learn like the Psyche K verse, or like, I don't even care at this point. If you wanted me to learn SCP, I would do it. I would do it. Like, if you wanted me to learn SCP, I will literally sit there and learn SCP. Like, I will learn the Cthulhu mythos. I will literally learn the Cthulhu mythos, bro. Like, stuff like that isn't off the table to me. Like, but then there are certain verses I just will never dabble into. Like, for example, I will never dabble in the comics, like, and be like a full-time, like, oh yeah, I know comics like the back of my hand. I'll never be that guy because comics to me are so stretched out, and like they span over multiple decades. So it's very hard to pinpoint and say like what's canon, what's not. Like, where does the story start? Like, first of all, can we just address how like these characters have been around since the 1960s and none of them are old yet? Like, this is still 616 Spider-Man, 616 Iron Man, and Peter is just now getting a beard and turning 30. Like, bro been 17 since 1964. Like, bro, what? Like, you think Fusion Reborn is canon to GT? Yes, 100%. I think every Dragon Ball Z movie is canon to GT. It's like all a part of that Toei verse. Favorite live action Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire. Easy. I know a lot of people say Andrew Garfield, but Tom to me isn't even in the conversation. I guess between Andrew and Tobey, and like, being honest, I think Tobey murders it as Peter Parker. Like, he kills it. I think Andrew like does the whole braggadocio, like kind of hip, cool version of Spider-Man. That's cool, but like Spider-Man like is meant to tell like condescending jokes in a corny way. Like, he's never meant to be like, oh yeah, I'm really on it now. Like, I'm really a thug with it. Like, that's never really who Spider-Man was, to me at least. You can show me some iterations, but like, I think like the true vision of who Peter Parker is as a character came from Stan Lee. And Stan Lee never wrote Peter Parker to be like this super duper cool guy as Spider-Man. Like, that's never who he was. Like, he was always like a timid, kind of like in his own shell type. And that's why I like the juxtaposition between Peter and like Spider-Man 1, 2, the first half of 3, and then Bully Maguire is so crazy because like we see like the giant difference, like the entire difference. Whereas like if Andrew was to have a Bully Maguire moment, I don't think it'd be that out of character. Like, if I'm being honest, because he's already exuded those traits before. Like, if that makes sense. By the way, I love Spider-Man too. I love Spider-Man too. I love Spider-Man as well. Spider-Man is just like amazing. I watched Spider-Man 3 at least 11 times, bare minimum, when I was younger. Man, I had Spider-Man 1 and 3 on DVD. I didn't have 2 on DVD. That was like a big problem of mine as a kid. Like I would always get incomplete sets of things. Like I would always ask for like things out of order. Like for example, if I already had Spider-Man 1, I wasn't gonna ask for Spider-Man 2. I'm asking for 3. Like it's the new one. I want this one. So like, but um I really feel like Sam Raimi struck gold with those movies. Like genuinely. Please scale Spider-Man 3 Harry Osborn's Goblin one day. Shoot, no problem. No problem. No problem. As a matter of fact, I might enter like a whole new chapter where like I just start talking about like superhero content. Like I might talk about I've talked about Toby versus Tom in the past, but like I never made it like a giant ordeal where I was genuinely scaling things. This is accurate. Even like comparing like Tom and Toby's performance against Goblin, like Toby slams badly. Superman destroys all that list. I mean, if you can give me a Superman feat, like I haven't really gotten anything so far. Super Prime 1 million been glazed for a while. I never actually seen a scale for bro. Me either. Me either. I honestly now that I think about it, like he doesn't have any feats for real. Like he doesn't do anything crazy. Like he's just described to have this crazy level of power, and then like, bam, like he doesn't do anything. Like Milkman is another one of those glazed versions of Superman. Like, bro, he's strong, but like if you put him in a cross verse tiering, like he's not that strong. Like he's not that powerful. I doubt if you can get him past complex multi, if I'm being honest. But that whole ordeal of like base Superman is like a comp Superman. That's so retarded. The dumbest thing I've ever heard. If you're trying to tell me that comp Superman is weaker than base Superman currently right now, what? Which I still haven't even seen any evidence for yet. I've been hearing that claim for like years, and still no one's giving me any evidence for it. Like, here it is. Dawn of DC Superman, who is who is every canon Superman combined into one. He one-shot the World Forger, who scales above the fifth dimension. Okay, pause. So many things to address, right? So if you're talking about the scene where like he mentions that like I'm or like we're better than, or like we're more than we even imagined, that whole ordeal, right? That's temporary. That's not something that happens permanently. Yeah, he temporarily merges with every canon Superman. I agree with that. But again, that's after he gets massively amped by something the World Forger himself did. Like the World Forger himself lined up those stars, those suns, to have Superman pass through. Like he lined that up himself. Like, what are we talking about? Keep in mind, the World Forger was also weakened. Keep that in mind too, because the longer the World Forger is outside the sixth dimension, the weaker he gets. So again, the World Forger is weakened and it is allowing Superman to amp himself to hit him. Like, that's not a crazy. Like, I swear to God, Superman versus Soulfire Darkseid is amped. That's an amped Superman. Like these amped feats don't prove base. Except the World Forger didn't line those suns and the feat happened in the sixth dimension. Pause. Yeah, because the World Forger went back to it, but he had already spent so much time outside of it that he was still weakened upon going back in. He needed to recharge, right? Second thing, the World Forger didn't line those suns up. That's a blatant lie. Bruce Wayne is literally forcing the World Forger to line up these stars so that Clark can pass through them. Matter of fact, let me just pull up the scan. Let me just pull up the scan. Hold up, chat. Hold up, chat. We do Justice League 25. Let's do Justice League 25. I won't. My bad, Godspeed. I won't say you're blatant. It was Bruce who lined up those stars. Okay, no. It was Bruce who came up with the plan to line up those stars, but he could not do it himself. He needed to have the World Forger do it, and he forced the World Forger to do so. That's why he's threatening him. He's threatening him to do it, and he's like, "All right, fine, I'll do it here." And he lines them up. Like, what? Hold on, let me turn it on. I got you. I got you. Hold up. I had seen the scan too. That's crazy. That's crazy. Even Drip Sauce showed this. Where's it at? What's the name of the Justice League 25? I would say. I think 25 or closer. Even if he was in the third dimension, we've seen what they can do in the third dimension. That's fine. That still doesn't debunk the idea that he's weakened. Like, what? The Anti-Monitor destroyed an infinite amount of universes and beat an Amp Spectre and Gold. Okay, that's cool, but like infinite universes doesn't prove anything. Like infinite universes would be a high multi feat, which is cool, but like it doesn't really prove much. Like uh yeah, like I see he's trying to say like he shouldn't be that weakened, but he kind of is. Like he's weakened, really. Let me try and find the scan. Bro, DC Comics be long for no reason, bro. Like, yo, you be like trying to find one thing and then be like stuck on the same page for the longest time. Hold up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got the whole thing in front of y'all right now. I'm gonna show y'all. Hold on. This chapter is way too long for genuinely no reason. I think we might have to go to a chapter before. Yeah, because when he what's the name? Chapter 25, like or issue 25, pretty much like already like thinks we fixing to read that many pages. It's not even that bad. But chapter 20, or not chapter 25, issue 25, like just starts like with Clark already on his last legs about to die. So like 24 is when he started the process, I think. The sixth dimension. I think it might be issue 23. Let's go back. Let's go back another one. I ain't gonna lie, bro. DC, y'all be doing the same thing that Dragon Ball be doing, bro. Like, or really any anime be doing. Y'all be stretching pages to mean nothing. Like, bro, what? You know what? There's no point in even searching for this at this point because it's not going to change the argument. Okay, what does this change? That the World Forger wasn't the one that amped him? Okay, cool. That proves what though? Well, that proves what? What does it prove? How does that prove that Clark isn't amped beyond great belief? How does that prove the World Forger isn't weakened? Like, I the relevant parts of the point haven't been addressed. So like that's the whole issue there. Besides that though, I mean like eh, DC scales above Dragon Ball easily. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'd be shocked if you can get I would be shocked if you can get like the DC cosmology past complex multi. Because him going through the suns isn't an amp. Okay, yeah, you're blatantly lying then. Like because they describe what Superman is going through upon him going through the suns. What? That's not his real power. That's him being amped. Like, hold on. Let me pull up the scan, bro. Let me pull up the scan, bro. I'm trying not to be condescending right now. I'm trying to be very, very mature. You feel me? Hold on. Let me pull up chapter 24 or issue 25. I've been reading too much manga. I'm so obsessed with saying chapters. What happened to Lil Nate? I don't know. Isn't going through suns always contextualized as an answer? Yes. Yet it's stated 50 different times in just pre-crisis alone that him sun dipping is him getting imps stronger than it makes him stronger than his normal strength. Like that this is literally a plot point. Like, this is literally a plot point. I'm not joking with y'all either. But this is the important part, right? This is the important part. This is where you gotta pay attention. Okay. I'm trying to get the context in there first. Hold up, my bad chat, my bad chat. All right. Okay. I want y'all to pay attention to this really quickly, like really simply. Watch this. Okay. So this is the first sun he goes into, right? He emerges from the nearest sun, feeling nearly whole. So one sun dip from one sun gave him nearly enough power, right? He went from being on death's door, zero energy, all the way to literally at like 95% off of one sun dip. Then he's like, wait, no, more than whole, meaning that he got all of his power back and then some off of one sun dip. One, he dips in one sun and he gets his power back and some more some, right? Every cell in his body glows. He's a million lanterns, a million flames lit by effort, by steady hands. And after so much darkness, so much doubt, he wants more. So then he goes through more. He moves faster than he ever has, at a speed beyond physics, beyond imagination. A white hot stylus skimming over the dark, redrawing what is possible. It will take hours for light to catch up to him, months for sound. But wait, first of all, pause. That already just like debunks this whole ordeal of like he's higher dimension. We're gonna get to that in a second, but it will take hours for light to catch up to him, months for sound. But his approach can be felt across every dimension. His will, his anger, right? And then he's going all the way towards the World Forger. You see this explosion of power in Superman, right? He's shooting at the World Forger, aimed at the World Forger, and then he hits him in the face and one-shots him. Like, I don't know where you thought, like, actually, yeah, you were right about that. World Forger didn't do anything, so that's fine. That's fine. Doesn't really change the argument, though. Okay, bro, you're not tracking. Okay, you're not tracking. That's fine. He can be in the sixth dimension in that current moment, right? That doesn't change the fact. And like he can be in the sixth dimension in that current moment, regaining his power. That's fine. But him regaining power and then him having all of the power regained are different things. They're not the same thing. Like he goes faster than the fourth and fifth dimension in that scan and is still bounded by time. So that's fine. They were. Soups killed that. I ain't gonna lie. That whole scan was fire. The Suns is a part of Superman's natural growth. It's not a transformation or a limited time thing. Yes, it is. What are you talking about? What? Wait. Stop. So you're trying to tell me that every single sun dip is permanent? Okay. That's a blatant lie. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's no proof that he was weakened for Superman to be. Okay, pause. He went into lower tier dimensions, which makes him weaker. Your burden will now need to be that upon going back into the sixth dimension, he gets all of his power back, which you cannot justify. Like unless you can, but like, yeah. No. Pause. I don't disagree with him getting permanent amps sometimes, because that's true. There have been times where like he's been in the sun for so long that his power like adapts, which I'm not disagreeing with, but that doesn't prove like that every sun dip is a permanent thing, because it's not. Again, that is Superman at full power. No, it's not. Full power Superman is said to be exceeded by the power in those sun dips. I'll go through the scans again if you need me to, right? But let's run through the entirety of the scans again. He emerges from the sun or the nearest sun feeling nearly whole. No, more than whole. So that already describes that Superman is above his full power there. Like, bro, what? No. Superman he got past his full power in that scan. Like, bro is that's not his full power. That is not his full power. That is an amped version of himself. Could you argue he broke his limits? Saiyans, people break their limits with borrowed power and amped power all the time, but it's about whether or not that amp is retained. You feel me? Like, for example, it's a weird comparison, but if you remember when Goku absorbed the energy of all the Z fighters, and like he fought Broly with it, right? He didn't that amp didn't like break him past his limits and do things like that. Like, it made him stronger, sure, but you know limits were broken, but that wasn't attained, like that wasn't retained. He didn't keep that level of power. He didn't keep that 1,000 times Genki amp. So what I'm saying is, like, yeah, that level of power is used, but he isn't constantly being powered by that. So like, that is Superman going at his absolute max. What are you talking about? Especially with the scan saying that he's going faster than ever before, faster than the fourth and fifth dimension. That doesn't prove, okay, bro, what? That doesn't prove that this is Superman's absolute max, right? Superman's absolute max, okay, is what is described in this scan right here. It isn't until he has to amp himself via external factors that he does not casually get, right? That's the point. That was my point. That was my point. Anyway, what I'm saying is, right, essentially, like, what I'm saying is, you can prove that like this is the highest level of power he'll ever be at. That's fine, but that doesn't dictate that this is power that he retains, or this is his new full power. That's not what it is. Like, bro, what? That's like saying that. I don't even want to get into like how crazy that could sound. That speed feat is better than Superman breaking the bonds of infinity and almost reaching heaven, which is an outer versal distance. Prove that. What the fuck? Wait, what? Bro said the fourth and fifth dimension and then outer in the same sentence. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and prove that that's an outer versal distance. But yeah, all in all, like it's already described that this is like that Superman has exceeded past his max and is now reaching new heights because of this borrowed power, right? But again, the burden would be on you to explain why this is a permanent thing. Like, sun dips, most likely, most often than not, are temporary amps that do not stay consistently. After Superman uses that power, it's gone because Superman does not get that same charge repeatedly. Like, for example, not even an example. Superman's power is found, like, it's basically like fueled by the sun, the solar energy, right? Coming off the sun. If Superman has that whole ordeal of, hey, I get this certain amount of charge from the sun, this fuels my power, and as I get stronger, I start, like, as I get older, as I start to get more experience, I get more, my body starts to receive more, right? Here's the funny part about that. That consistent intake is what Superman's max is, right? Whenever Superman sun dips, he goes above his max, right? And gets a completely different charge from the sun as compared to when he's on Earth or in the universe or just in separate sectors. Like, it doesn't really prove anything. First, Superman, we need to transcend the bleed and the speed force. The bleed is stated to have extra dimensional reaches, and the speed force exists on every plane of existence. What does that prove? Is extra dimensional like outer or something like that? Does that prove it's outer? Because extra dimensional to me just proves like another spatial axis, which doesn't prove anything inherently. Like it doesn't really prove anything except like it's a dimension above in terms of tiering, which is cool, I guess. Every universe has infinite spatial dimensions, at least 11 spatial dimensions. Prove that. Prove this claim right here. I know exactly what scan he's gonna pull from. First of all, the only scan that ever quotes that DC has like 11 dimensions is. I hope you're not talking about this scan. Hold on. I know you're not talking about this scan. It can't be this one. This got to be a joke. Is it this scan? Because there's no way you're talking about this. There's no way you're talking about this. Because the debunk is in the paragraph. It's there for you. Like the debunk is right there. I don't even need to explain that. Like the debunk is right there. Like if y'all can figure it out, chat, y'all know it. Chat, if y'all know the debunk, say it in the chat. If y'all know the debunk, say it. Superman, we need to transcend those planes to reach the God sphere, which transcends space and time and dimensionality. Okay, so it transcending dimensionality doesn't really prove anything because essentially all it would prove is that like it's above the dimensions that are listed in the DC verse. So for example, like if the extent of dimensional axes is fifth, like if they exceed dimensionality, they just be above the fifth dimension, which is fine. Like that's cool. Like in totality, they be above all those dimensions, which is cool. That doesn't really prove anything. Also transcending time and space is quite literally a 5D feat. So like that doesn't really prove much either. Like these are 5D feats, like just in total. Like I'm just being honest. The scan is blatantly talking about a version of the cosmology that doesn't exist anymore for one, and two, this isn't even talking about the normal universe. It's a separate space that it to be there you go, Abyss. There you go, Abyss. There you go, Abyss. That's all you needed. That's all you needed. I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't finna say it. My bad, chat. I'm looking at Malcolm X movie clip. Boo Sakagoku slams DC. Anything beyond is just overkill. I think DC at the max is complex multi, so I think Goku kind of gets slammed in the Buu Saga if I'm being honest. But uh, by Battle of Gods, it's a slam. Like Goku bodies. By the way, speaking of Superman, uh, have y'all seen the trailer for the James Gunn Superman movie? I haven't yet. I don't even really plan on seeing it, but it's like if I just happen to be in the movie theaters, like, nope. DC easily scales high outer low ball. Yeah, no, stop, please, stop deluding yourself. Like, so again, I have no issue with being wrong. I just haven't been proven wrong. If that makes sense. Like, again, if there's an outer feat, show me. Okay, I'm gonna Google what a myriad is because I don't. I'm not a nerd. Hold on, I'm joking. I'm joking. A countless or extremely great. Um. Okay. Wait. Pause. Stop. First of all, none of those. That doesn't imply a layering of anything. That's the first thing. That doesn't imply a transcendence of anything. Secondly, thirdly, most importantly, like there can be an uncountable quantity, but if the quality of these dimensions aren't calculated, then it doesn't matter. Like you can scale above infinite unquantifiable dimensions. Wow. Like that doesn't prove anything. Like that proves nothing. The geometry of each universe has multiple infinities. Like, are you saying like the universe itself is like of what are we saying? Like there's infinite dimensions that each transcend each other or something, or there's like infinite hierarchies in these universes. What are you saying? Like, bro, if there aren't infinite dimensions or infinite spatial dimensions that transcend each other one after the next, then it doesn't matter. Like, bro. And even saying like the sentence I just gave, that's a quantification for like where these dimensions scale. Like, because a 6D space is infinitely greater than a 5D space. Like, but if I'm saying like there's a myriad of spatial dimensions, all that proves is that there's countless spatial dimensions on the same axes. Like, that doesn't prove anything. I'm confused. Maybe I'm just lost in the plot. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't know.
Do you think that John Cena will one?
But once again, I'm just not about to keep giving random characters the outer tier randomly, like with no reasoning, no proof, no nothing. Like each of those infinities are transcended by larger infinities. That like is an oxymoron because an infinity is the same size regardless of what you want to scale it down to. It's going to be the same size. It's still infinite. So like I don't really see the point of that. But sure, each okay, are they dimensionally transcended? Like what is it? Like is it dimensionally transcended? Like I'm confused. Facts. Abyss, would it be wrong to say that the sixth, like the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, like all like scale like geometrically back to like our fourth, fifth, and sixth, or would that be wrong? Like they would represent like our geometric like dimensional theory. Would that be wrong? And Marvel and DC each have infinities larger than infinity. I mean, I guess, but like still not really answering the question. Like, are these like infinite dimensions that transcend each other that are getting transcended by another hierarchy of these infinities? Like, What is like being transcended? These are very vague terms that don't like really prove anything. Like these are very vague. So like the World Force, like okay, let's keep it to like the Justice League. Like let's just say like them. The fourth, fifth, and sixth aren't spatial dimensions. I did not. If I claimed to be them, I probably misspoke, but I never said they were. I probably did. I probably misspoke. And actually, yes, they. Oh wait, pause. The fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensions are the added spatial axes. Oh wait, what? I So what is the fifth dimension? 3D space and 2D time? Like what? No, bro, what? Like the fourth dimension. Yeah, it's just a 2D space and 2D time. Like Scott Snyder has confirmed the sixth dimension isn't a physics-based spatial dimension. Um, does anyone have that statement? And wait, if that's like not the like if that's the case, then and like these dimensions aren't based on physics, then like why are the rules like the same in physics then? Like, for example, if a five-dimensional character, like if a four-dimensional character comes down to the third dimension, like or like if a fifth dimensional character comes down to the third dimension, like they're gonna turn into like literally what looks to be like the second like a second dimensional plane or like a second dimensional like configuration. Like they're gonna look like flat pieces of paper. Like they're not gonna be 3D. So like if a 5D what's the name comes to like a 3D or like a 3D space or like a 2D space, he's gonna end up looking like a 2D or 3D 2D 3D character configuration. Um I don't think any character in fiction is boundless. My bad. I know you didn't say that, but I just wanted to like make mention of it. Um the two can coexist. So like my question is like so then why are the rules like the same? Like why does a 4D character turn into a 3D configuration upon going into a 3D world? It just doesn't make any sense. Or like if a 2D character or like a 3D character goes into the fifth dimension, like they're gonna end up like looking completely different. Like, bro, it's so odd. DC is so bad, bro. DC is so bad. I'm being honest. Like, there's dirt on my keyboard. Let me see something real quick. Wait. Pause. Hold on. Aren't these spaces called like trans geomet? Like these are like aren't these like trans geometric realms? So my question is, if these are trans geometric realms, like why are the geometric axes like why are these not accounted for then? Like they only fall under those rules when they're forced to like when the specter turned the fifth dimensional imposter into imp into a third dimensional pen. So what about like the courthouse scene in the fifth dimension where like multiple 3D characters like look completely flat? What about that? Back to like the transgeometric thing though. Like these are stated to be higher geometric realms. So like my question is like, if these things aren't quote unquote physically related, like what are they then? Because they're confirmed to be geometric in nature. So like my question is like, why would they not be based on our real life physics system? And again, I'm not saying that it can't deviate from that system, but it has a basis from that system. That's what I'm saying. All right, y'all. Low key. I'm gonna wait for like a couple more responses from Godspeed Force until I get off stream, and then I'm just gonna go play Call of Duty or something like that. Cause I'm bored. They are also confirmed to be just planes of existence, not spatial geometric realms. Okay, pause. It being a plane of existence, like for bro, what a geometric realm is a plane of existence. What are you talking about? Like that's still a plane of existence. Like what? That's like the two can coexist. Like that's still a plane of existence. Like if these spaces are confirmed to be geometric or like geometric realms in nature and they're also planes of existence, like that doesn't debunk the point. Like all right, chat. Much love though. I'm gonna have the Gaki video out probably by like Friday. I'm gonna have the video about the Cash App thing up probably by tomorrow, and then like we'll get everything in order. I'll explain everything about like the guidelines and the rules for that. I'll explain like my monetization and what I'm gonna do for that. We're just gonna be doing like an update video tomorrow. I'm just gonna get everything out the way and address what I'm gonna do for the future. But as of right now, it's been your boy Stork, and I'm out. Deuces. See y'all later, man.